If you're offended, I'm sorry. Something you need to hear. If you're offended, then I'm probably stepping on your toes.
White House. The difficulty is that
Can Gorilla Tape? Can Gorilla Tape? Hold down an airline? First door. Chassis, you got to be careful. Mud flaps. The hanger for the mud flaps might get torn off from the chassis. Luckily for me, I got the hangers where you just pull them out. Just gonna bag out the way. I'm not gonna open the doors until they get here.
Pull the container. Make sure you check that pin is out. This is not.
Well, what am I talking about? I can't.
The chassis.
I need bolt cutters. Maybe glue. And you might want to carry something with you. A lot of times it doesn't have the piece to latch. These pretty much are back. The ones that I bought when the market was in correction territory. These are ones that I bought when the market was down. And sorry, how did I make a decision on buying these? Again, well, one of the first things, well, not the first thing, but one of the things that I looked at was, let's go here. This is one of them. I looked at I like using this Yahoo Finance. I told you before, because all the information, the way it's organized and everything. So if you go to Yahoo Finance, put in the ticker symbol up here, and get to the page for that ticker symbol, then click on more data, view more data, and you'll see the you see the recommendations here as well, and you also see the target. This one is, they think it should be around $60 in a year, and right now it's less than $1. So, you know, if you're going to take a risk at something, doesn't that seem like a good one to take a risk on? Like, you're going to throw $200 away, you're going to throw $300 away. Just whatever you was going to throw that away on. Think about what you throw money away on during 6 months. You can't sacrifice not throwing it away that 6 months and instead putting it in here. And people don't want to put money in the market, but you throwing it away. I guarantee you can find where you're throwing it away. But anyway, So I've already looked. All right, if you go all the way down, you see what the company is about, what they do. And this is something you can read on Robinhood as well. And you can go to the company website as well for investors. But this gives you a synopsis of what the company does. It's like, okay, yeah, seems like they got good market. But obviously, if they're saying the target is 61, is a reason behind it. But the other thing that I like looking at, if I'm deciding on putting money in it, is the 52-week low. That was 51 cents. 52-week high was 20 cents. Doesn't mean a whole lot. But the 50-day moving average is 67 cents. Was 67 cents. Well, it still is 67 cents. The 200-day moving average was $2.78. So at the time that I was looking at it, it was 55 cents. And of course, this dropped when the rest of the market dropped. And it's 55.5544 45, something like that. So that's where I got in at. And the 50-day moving average is 67 cents. It didn't drop. It dropped actually well below 50. But when I checked it out, it was at 55. And I had reasonable expectation for it to come up to at least near the 50-day average, because the average means a little higher, a little lower, right? So now it's at 68 cents, which is right there at the average. I mean, it's easy, man. It's so easy. And so now it's $76, 600 shares. I got it for pennies, 55 cents a share. And whatever, $400. Okay. You're going to blow. Matter of fact, I needed some Timberlands. Didn't get them for Christmas. I need some jeans. I tore my jeans. My favorite jeans. My second favorite jeans a couple of weeks ago. My favorite jeans a couple of weeks before that. So I need to re-up on my gear. I need some Timbs. I need a Randy McNally GPS. But I can get around with it. I got my map still. I got Google, you know what I'm talking about, GPS navigation. I got sense enough not to follow it into a cornfield. But you see what I'm saying? You gotta prioritize where you're gonna put your focus. Because you can make excuses all day about not taking action on different opportunities, and then say, woe with me, this is for the rich, and all this stuff. But look, man, you throwing the money. I just heard them talk about a food desert in Greensboro, and the company is going out of business. Why? Because they located in the area that was supposedly a food desert. First of all, they was charging too much for the stuff. But second of all, it's not a desert, man. You can say what you want to. Those people that staying down the street, most of them, I've been down there. I know people down there. If they want to get somewhere, they can get somewhere. Plus, it's a grocery store not even a mile from where they are. That's walking distance if you have to do it. If if it's your priority to eat well, eat better. So it's not because there's not access to food. In many cases, the reason people aren't improving their diet is just because they don't want to improve their diet. Yeah, at a shallow level, you might say, I want to improve my diet. What I'm saying is they lack the discipline. They don't place the value of doing so high enough so that they actually follow through, But I bet you can get some weed. I bet you can get some 40s. The people over there at the store across the street all day long drinking. So, we have to stop making excuses and pretending to be victims about everything that we could do differently and do better, but it's easier to say that it's impossible or too hard or too much of an inconvenience, or we are a victim, or we're being oppressed. You gotta get out of that, man. You're just gonna be in a cycle of mediocrity, keep making excuses. If you're offended, I'm sorry. Something you need to hear. If you're offended, then I'm probably stepping on your toes. If it doesn't apply to you, then why? What? Y'all, boy, people too sensitive. You can't say nothing. You can't give people good advice. You can't try to reason with people. There's a lack of common sense going on. There's people are overly sensitive. It's ridiculous. Don't be one of those people. Step back, look at the big picture. Figure out if the information you're hearing, for instance, look at the news and everything, is it unbiased or is it slanted? Are people presenting you things to sway your perspective of the situation? Yeah, all of these people, most people you hear from fit neatly in a category. You know what I'm saying? Democrat, Republican, only care about rich, only care about poor, only care about having a group of people following them, only care about their own interests. You have to think as an individual, use your own mind, look at the information, listen to the information, but listen to it from more than just one source, so you can then evaluate the information. What makes sense? Look at this conversation about a border wall. Common sense tells you that a physical barrier is going to help in protecting the border. Common sense tells you that technology has to be. These boys ain't even got radios that work reliably. So it's not one or the other. It's both. And it's common sense. And even forget that. I'm speaking from here. I ain't been down there alongside the border. These people have access to experts in the field of protecting a perimeter of high value locations and high sensitivity locations and secret locations. You got access to experts who can tell you exactly what's the best way definitively to improve security along that border, but instead they're using it as a political football back and forth, both of them. And a lot of y'all buying into this crap on one side or the other, when both of them are just sitting up there acting a fool. One blaming the other for the government being shut down. It's both of them. Y'all got to think for yourself, man, and look at the big picture of what's going on, man. So that's why you got to do stuff like try to position yourself to not be reliant upon just your employer or just the economy booming or other situations outside of your control dictating how you're able to live your life. You need multiple streams of income. You need to be mindful and aware and intentional about your health. People complain about the cost of health care and medical bills and everything, and putting it on the government and insurance and all that, and we're not even doing what we can to improve our own health. You see what I'm saying? You have to use your own mind, think, step back, look at the big picture, evaluate your health. It's 2019. Where we going to be next year this time? Are we going to be in a different predicament? You know? Being proud of ourselves for the things that we did, that we know we should have did, so that we're in a better situation? Or are we going to be, woe is me, it's the same thing, and things aren't changing, and, you know what I'm saying? We're victims of poor government in the best country there is to be in, by the way, in my opinion. Hopefully people who live in other countries feel the same thing about their country. But look, man, this is supposed to be just a little short video. I spent a lot of time talking, yapping. And I'm about to go ring this doorbell, see if people might be in on the other side. They don't park out here on this side, so maybe they in. It's 3 minutes to 8. They should be in. But one door, I'm the only one back here. It's looking good. When I leave here, I gotta go to Shelby. Now the Shelby load pays $4 425 and to go to Shelby and come back. Go to Shelby, deliver the load, bring the container back to the rail yard. 425. Shelby's about I'd say 120 miles away. So it's less than $2 a mile. But it's out. Again, I was talking about people who need to be back home. It's out and back for that. Instead of going somewhere one way and then figuring out where you go from there or coming back there ahead, for somebody that need to be back in, check out intermodal and other opportunities that exist around your place. There's all kind of opportunities. Like furniture is one that goes out, come back in. So yeah, I'm still getting stuff fixed on this truck, man. I had an air leak. Well, I still got an air leak. Oh, by the way, yeah, the Gorilla Tape, I worked for half a day, then it gave out. Nope. It lasted almost. Yeah, we in the dock door now. The Gorilla Tape, it didn't hold. Well, it held for half the day. About 1 o'clock, you can hear air leaking out. But I got the hoses right here. I just got to wait till Saturday to put them on. Still getting stuff done to this truck. It's 06, so, you know, stuff got to be done. Now, if you hear an air leak, you might hear it up here. It might be up there, but it could be the brake chambers. It could be a hole in the airline back there to the trailer. It could be I fixed a air protection valve. I didn't fix it. I got the mechanic to do put an air protection valve on the air tank under the truck. Other day I put an air dry. The mechanic put the air dryer on there. Prior to that, you might hear air leaking, and it could be this. This is behind the dash. Air was leaking out of one of these. It also could be the sensor back there. I told you that before. Also, this right here was leaking. The trailer brake valve, that was leaking.
What the hell? Hold on. That ain't gonna work.
And now, might be able to hear that air.
Okay.
That is, like I said, that line back there that I taped up, that hole that I taped up. The Gorilla Tape is slowing it down, but it's still getting by. And that's it. I called the lady yesterday at the oil analysis place. I hadn't made that video because I never got the oil analysis. I got all these bottles they keep sending, but I hadn't got the results of the oil analysis. Yes, ma'am. How you doing? I'm doing great. I was calling. I sent an oil sample to these guys probably 2 months ago, and I've been getting my additional bottles to send back more samples, but I never got the result of my analysis of the oil sample. So we'll get that back soon, see what that's about.